All right. So, when it comes to lessons, where did we stop? When it comes to lessons, where did we stop? I also have the whiteboard note. Let me double check. We have finished. Did we finish the lesson that we are currently on? The geometry lesson, did we finish that? Yeah, we are talking about the structure today. Did we finish the lesson that we were doing, Lamai? Metna? Risindi? Did I give any homework? Let me also open my textbook. $14.5. We did which question did we do in 14.5? Miscellaneous ke tabe kara deka. Can you quickly respond? You have the book, right? Then we can save time. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. No, I have to wait until you respond. Whatever you have written, just quickly check and let me know. Miscellaneous, okay. We have done the third question, right? Yeah, so not just 14.5, we have also done miscellaneous third question. And no homework. Is that so? All right. Okay, that's a little strange, but Hari. Then අපි මෙතන ඉඳන් කරන් යන්නේ parallelly කරන් යමු. We'll do the past paper revision as well as the lessons. And as I said, whatever Thursdays we can, we'll take it to an extra class, right? So this Thursday, which is 6th of August, I will double check and let you know. I'm not sure about 6th of August, but 13th of August is okay, right? I will double check anyways and I'll let you know, okay? So, right. To start the past paper revision, we are going to first start with a certain paper. Do you all have the past paper books with you? Do you all have the past paper book with you? Okay. So, can you get the 2018 paper? Turn to 2018 paper. Paper. Okay. Then paper ka digarla balanna. Usually in the O-level maths paper, we have two papers, right? We have paper 1 and we have paper 2. Okay. We have paper 1 And we have paper 2. Now, if you take paper 1, right? Paper 1 is can first paper 1, the time allocation is 2 hours, right? For paper 1, the time allocation is 2 hours. In paper 1, again paper 1 is divided into 2 parts as part A and part B. One other part A you have the paper with you, so you can check and tell me. Paper 1, part A, what is there? What do we have in part A? Yes, 25 short questions, right? We have 25 short questions in part A, right? And then in paper 1, we also have a part B. What is there in part B? What is there in part B? Quickly check. 5 questions, 5 structured questions. That means these 5 questions, you have to write the answers on the paper itself, right? So there are 5 questions. Answer on paper. Okay. So that is paper 1. Okay. So for paper 1, you are getting a time allocation of 2 hours. That means roughly part A you get 1 hour because you have 25 questions to do, right? And part B you get another 1 hour. That is how the time is divided. Okay. සමහරට ඔයගලන් part A ඉක්මනට කරලා part B එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. But generally time එක divide කරලා තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙම. Okay. Then paper 2. Paper 2 ගත්තම again it's divided into 2 parts. As part A and part B. Again, paper 2, we have part A and part B, right? What is in part A? What is in part A? Yes, there are 6 essay questions. There are 6 essay questions. You only have to do 5 questions. Right? We only have to do 5 questions. And in part B also the same thing. You have 6 essay questions. From that, you only have to do 5 questions. Okay. Now for paper 2, what is the time allocation? Can you check for paper 2? Part 2 paper 2 එකට කොච්චර time හම්බ වෙනවද? Hmm? 3 hours. 3 hours, when you convert to minutes, that's around 180 minutes. So for paper 1, you get 2 hours. That is divided into part A and part B as 1 hour, 1 hour, right? So 1 hour is roughly 60 minutes. Okay, so then paper 2 again you get 3 hours. That means 180 minutes. That means divide part A you get 1.5 hours, which is 90 minutes. And for part B also you get the same amount of time. Okay, up to this point, is it clear? Can you give me a thumbs up? Perfect. Even though this is the case, right? මෙහෙම තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඒක ඇත්ත හැබැයි අපි exam එකට ලෑස්ති වෙලා යනවට වඩා වැඩිපුර වෙලා exam එකේ ඇත්තටම යනවා. The reason is, for one thing, if you're going to an international school, your exam center will be a national school, right? or like a government school. So you are going to an unfamiliar environment, right? A new environment. So that could maybe like fluster you a little bit. Then the other thing is you are a little stressed out, tense and anxious because it's the O levels after all, right? So at the quarter, because of that stress and anxiety, whatever, you sometimes, let's say you're reading a question, you are not actually reading the question. Whatever you read didn't go to your head. So then you have to double read the same question. So so those take a little bit of time. So however way you practice at home, the time is going to be a little higher when you are doing it at the exam. So we can't practice for these same times, because then at the exam it will take longer than this. That's a common mistake that a lot of students make. At home also they practice for the same time. If you practice for the same time, at the exam it's going to take a little bit more time. As I said, new environment, it's O level, so it's a lot of stress. Then your parents must have told you you have to get good marks and all before you enter the exam hall or the school. Then when you enter the exam center, you see students studying and all, and then it's a little stressful. Then you see that. So these things really affect you mentally. So when we are practicing for a lesser time, so that at the exam it will take this time. Exam එකේ මේ ගාන වෙලාව හරියට ගියොත් no problem. But ඒතර අපි එන practice කරන්න ඕනේ ඊට වඩා අඩු time එකක කරන්න. I hope you understood what I meant. So here, part A you are supposed to do within 1 hour. But when we are practicing, mama question by question එක time allocate කරන්න, because that's really no point. 25 questions can questions put. I think they're all like short questions. So I'm not going to allocate time for one question each. මම මුළු ඒ set එකටම time එක allocate කරන්න. එක question එකට සාමාන්‍ය allocate කරොත් since there are 25 questions and there are 60 minutes, 1 hour. එක question එකට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 2.5 වලට පොඩක් අඩුවෙන් යන්න. Right? But as I said, we don't practice like that. So එතකොට we have to be able to do part A within 45 to 50 minutes. This is when we are practicing. Right? අපි practice කරද්දී 45 to 50 minutes වලින් part A එක කරන්න practice කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වෙලාවට අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් අපිට time issue එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ the exam. Okay, that is one. Then part B, there are 5 questions and we have to write the answers on the paper itself. So there is 1 hour. That means 60 minutes. 60 minutes තියනවා කියන්නේ ළමයි, you know, එක question එකකට කොච්චර time එකක් හම්බ වෙනවද? 60 minutes when you divide by 5, you get 12 minutes. So එක question එකට 12 minutes හම්බ වෙනවා. But when we are practicing, we can't practice for this. We practice for a lesser time. You should be able to do one question within 8 minutes, right? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි මුලදී time කරද්දී 10 minutes වල time කරනවා, පොඩ අපි time එක අඩු කරනවා, right? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 9 minutes වගේ නම් අවුලක් නැහැ. Right? So like around 8 to 9 minutes, you should be able to do one question. All right? Then out of the 6 essay questions, you're only doing 5 questions. You're gonna skip one. So altogether it takes 90 minutes. 90 divided by 5, how many minutes do you get for one question? Hariyata karana. You can mean exam ke time allocation. Okay. How long would you get for one question? Nine divided by 5? 18, right? So one question would roughly be around 18 minutes. But when we are practicing, we practice for 12 to 15 minutes. Api practice karaddi, as I said, we have to practice to do one question within 12 to 13 to 15 minutes. අන්තිම හරියම ළමයින්ට 12 minutes වලත් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. And the same case here. මේකත් එකම එකනේ. So same case here. So එතකොට when we are doing past papers, we are initially starting with essay and paper 1 part B questions we are doing, and then these questions also we are doing. We are not touching these for the time being. අපි අන්තිමාරි තමයි part A ව කරන්නේ. So time allocation, as I said, when we are doing paper 1 part B questions, for one question, I'm going to set a timer for like 8-9 minutes. Paper 2 questions, I'm going to set a timer for 13 to 15 minutes. And also, since the papers are very long, there's a lot of questions to do. We can't take the time during the class to do the question and discuss the question both. So most of the time, I give you homework. These questions make a homework. So එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ homework විතර කරන් යන්න ඕනේ. Homework කරද්දි make sure that you set a timer like this, right? So phone එක ළඟ තියාගත්තොත් නම් එච්චර හොඳ නෑ මට හිතෙන්නේ. අර පොඩි digital clocks වගේ digital ඒවා නේ මොනවා හරි ඔය තියෙන පොඩි timers වගේ ඒවා මම හිතන්නේ එච්චර ගානකුත් නෑ. You can just get one, or if you have very good discipline, or if you have like a button phone, you can keep the timer from there, right? But you have to keep a timer when you do these questions, okay? All right. Is this time allocation clear to you? Give me a thumbs up. ඊට පස්සේ ළමයි තව එකක් තමයි like මොන questions එක question වලට මොන ඒ කියන්නේ for an example paper 2 part A first question එක හැමලේම නිකන් එක වගේ type එකේ question එන්නේ. paper 2 part B එකේ first question එක සමහර arithmetic progressions ඒ වගේ එන්නේ. so එහෙම එක වගේ patterns කීපයක් තියෙනවා සමහර papers වල ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. ඒක මම මුලින් ඉඳන් මෙහෙම කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. That is something we will notice, we will realize as we are doing papers, right? That's the best way to get an understanding about that. Okay. Can you quickly like note this down? Make it really fast. Let's start by doing questions. Okay, am I done? Okay. Metna? Okay. Go to 2018 paper. We are doing papers from 2016 until the most recent paper. හැබැයි අපි අර 2016 ඉඳන් එහෙම පිළිවෙලට science වල මම 2018 පටන් ගන්නේ maths එක 2018 is a pretty good paper, but let's start with 2016. Wait, let me think. 2016. No, 2020 වලින් පටන් ගමු අපි. Take the 2020 paper. Twenty 20 wala go to paper 1 part B. The first question. Usually හැම වෙලේම වගේ paper 1 part B first question again fractions question එක. And sometimes the last question may be a little bit of a percentage question. May avilla don't start yet, huh? This is 2020 paper 1 part B. Okay, and this is the first question. So as I said, ගොඩක් වෙලාවට paper 1 part B first question එක එන්නේ fractions question එක, and sometimes there could be like a little bit of percentages also in it, but mostly it's a fraction question, right? බලන්න මේ pattern මම දැන් මේ question එකට යද්දී I will show you the pattern, and ඊළඟ papers වලදී you will be able to see some sort of a pattern of how questions are repeating. Okay, so this is paper 1 part B. So paper 1 part B question එක, paper 1 part B question එක, we usually take 8 to 9 minutes to do this. So I'm going to set the timer for 9 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set the timer for 9 minutes. Okay, start quickly. Lamai, very sorry. It's raining very heavily, so I lost my connection for a bit. Can you all hear me? All right. Did you all finish the question? I think the timer went off, right? Did you all finish the question? Mm-hmm. All right, 1 second. Let me find my paper. Okay. So I think this was not that difficult, but let's start discussing. Hari. Then ඔගලන්ට මේක discuss කරද්දී you will understand another thing. That is how marks are being given. Samaning, if you look at like paper 1, part A, the first 25 questions, the answer has to be very short because you're not given too many marks for those. Part B වලත් answers සාර ගොඩාක් කොට නම් ලියන්නෙත් නැහැ ගොඩාක් දිගට ලියන්නෙත් නැහැ. මේ essay questions paper 2 එකේ questions තමයි අපි දිගට ලියන්නේ. Okay, let's just these are the things that you will understand as we go. So අපි කරන ගමන් බලන් යමු. All right, let me first switch on the recording. Is it recording already? Okay, yes. A container of 5-liter capacity was completely filled with a soft drink. 3/10 of this amount was used to serve drinks. What fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of the soft drink remaining after using a portion to serve drinks? So, මෙහෙම container එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? අපි නිකන් මේක imagine කරමු. Sorry. 3/10 of this was used to serve drinks. So that means මෙයා අපි නිකන් හිතන්න 10 pieces වලට divide කරා කියලා. Making 3 pieces, these are 10 pieces, right? Making 3 pieces was used to serve drinks. Can it 3/10 to serve drinks? පැටලෙනවනේ ඔයාලට මේ වගේ draw කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්. The total capacity is 5 liters, right? What fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of soft drink remaining after using a portion to serve drinks? Drink serve කරන්නේ 3/10 ගත්තාම ඉතුරු වෙනවා තව කීයක් 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So that is from the diagram, but අපි normally ගත්තොත් එම full එකක් හැප්පෙම 1 කියලා ගන්න. 1. එතනින් අපි subtract කරනවා 3/10. 1 වලින් 3/10 දැන් මෙතන 1 කියන්නේ denominator එකත් 1 නේ. So that means you multiply, we need to have a common denominator, so I multiply this by 10. So this also should be multiplied by 10. So here 10/10, here 3/10. So 10 minus 3 is 7. Denominator is 10. So the answer is 7/10. Is this clear to you, Lamai? Recently? Okay. 5/7 of the soft drink remaining in the container was poured into a bottle. Then ගිය කට්ටිය වෙනයි ඉතුරු අයගෙන් 5/7. ඉතුරු කී දෙනායිද? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. ඒ හතෙන් 5/7 means 5 out of 7. So from this 7, 5 was poured into a bottle. So this 5/7 was poured into a bottle. What fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of soft drink left in the container after that? So, a diagram right? So, from the total, 2/10. How do we write this as an answer? Diagram draw 5/7 of the soft drink remaining. Remaining again 5/7. The remaining fraction is now 7/10, right? After 3/10 was used to serve drinks. Here total again 3/10 was used to serve drinks. Itruna 7/10. Ituru 7/10 tamai 5/7 poured into a bottle. Ehena how much was poured into the bottle? මේගේ simple එහෙම statements දෙනවා very simple ලියන්න. 5/7 of means multiplication of the remaining amount. Remaining amount is 7/10. Okay, so we'll see 7 cancel වෙනවා. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10. So half is remaining. One second. Poured half was poured into the bottle. Give me a second. Okay. So yeah. Then එතකොට now what are they asking now? What fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of soft drink left in the container after that? ඒ කියන්නේ 3/10 use කරා drink serve කරන්න, half use කරා අපි bottle එකකට pour කරා. මේ දෙකම ගියාට පස්සේ ඉතුරු කීයද කියලා තමයි අපෙන් අහන්නේ. මේක ළමයි මම half කියලා simplify කරන්නේ නැතුව what I will do is look at what I'm doing. I will show you why I'm doing that. මෙතන මේක 5 times 1 5 5 times 2 10 කියලා simplify කරන්නේ නැතුව මම මේව 5/10 විදිහටම තියනවා. Okay, let's see why I'm doing that. Then එතකොට total soft drink used. කොච්චර soft drinks අපි use කරාද? මෙතන serve drinks කරන්න අපි 3/10 කරන්න 5/10 බලන්න දැන් දෙන්නටම common denominator තියෙන හින්දා it's very easy to add 5 6 7 8 8/10 ඒකයි මම මෙතන simplify කරේ නැත්තේ right. So once that 8/10 goes, how much is remaining? We can find here remaining. Total එකෙන් total means always 1 minus 8/10. So 1 එතන මුකුත් නැහැ කියන 1 නේ. එතකොට දෙන්නට common denominator ගන්න ඕනේ. So multiply numerator and denominator by 10. So 10/10 minus 8/10 means 2/10. This is the final answer. So you can further simplify. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. You can leave as 1/5. Is this clear, Lamai? Okay. At the end, I will show you how marks are given once. Okay, Lamai. Now, more soft drink was added to the amount of soft drink in the container until the amount in the container was exactly half the capacity of the container. Express the amount of soft drink poured into the container in liters. එතකොට දැන් total capacity එක 1 කියලා ගත්තොත් අපිට ඕනේ මෙයාව half වෙනකම් fill කරන්න. Right? Half, if the total is 1, half means 1/2. හැබැයි දැන් මෙතන මේ container එකේ තියෙන්නේ 1/5. 1/5, but I want to fill it up to 1/2. එහෙනම් තව කොච්චරක් මම දාන්න ඕනේද? More soft drink needed. Right? මට ඕනේ half 1/2 වෙනකම් fill කරන්න. හැබැයි තියෙන්නේ 1/5 විතරයි. So එතකොට තව කොච්චරක් fill කරන්න ඕනේද? මේක මෙයාව subtract කරාම මට එනවා. So I will get the common denominator, multiply this by 5, this also by 5. Here this by 2, this also by 2. 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 2 is 2, 5 times 2 is 10. So 5 minus 2 is 3/10. So man කොච්චර fraction එකක් පෝ කරන්න ඕනද? 3/10 පෝ කරන්න ඕන. අබේ අපෙන් අහන්නේ liters වලින්. Can a total amount taking 3/10 I have to fill it. What is the total capacity of the container? 5 liters. 5 liters වලින් total capacity එකෙන් 3/10 I have to fill. එහෙනම් amount in liters is 3/10 of means multiplication total capacity. That is 5 liters. බලමු. 5 times 1 is 5. Oh. Second. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 liters. This should be your answer. Is this clear, Lamai? Is this clear? Risindi? Risindi, is this clear? All right. Then I will tell you how marks are allocated. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හරි වැරදි mark කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ හරිද වැරදිද කියලා mark කරලා කොච්චර marks ආවද කියලා බලන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So, for Roman, let me first get the marking scheme. ලකුණු මතක නැහැ දැන විදියට. 2000, what's this paper? 2020, no? Yeah. First question. Okay. So for first Roman number, ඔන්න බලන්න ලකුණු දීලා තියෙන විදිහ, that is also quite interesting to know, right? මේ 1 වලින් 3/10 subtract කරපු මේ step එකට 1 mark. Step එකට 1 mark. For getting the final answer 7/10, 1 mark. So එතන altogether 2 marks. මේ marks දෙනවා තමයි මම round කරලා ලියන්නේ. Mark කරගන්න. Then for the second Roman number, for multiplying 5/7 by 7/10, for that step, 1 mark. Then, මෙන්න මෙතන 3/10 plus 5/10 add කරන step එකට 1 mark. ඒක 1 වලින් subtract කරන step එකට 1 mark. For getting the final answer as either 2/10 or 1/5, 1 mark. So altogether 4 marks are there. Then for Roman number 3, 1/2 again 1/5 subtract and step back at 1 mark. For getting the answer as 3/10, for getting this answer 1 mark. Then for this step 1 mark. And for getting 1.5 liters 1 mark. So there are 4 marks. So altogether you should get 10 marks. Tell me how many marks you got out of 10, Laman? Quickly. Okay, Risindi Metna? Okay, great. Good, huh? Let's ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ කරන questions mark කරගන්න. කෙනෙක් question එක ළඟ චූටි ඉරක් දාලා mark කරගන්න that you all did it. Because sometimes you're going to do the same question twice and සමහරවල් randomly ඔයගොල්ලන්ට class එකේ questions කරන්න දෙනවා. Because as I said, mostly we do the questions as homework. But sometimes during the class I might ask you randomly මේක කරන්න කියලා time කරලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Let's move on to the second question of 2020. second. Lama, a second question is a rectangular flower bedding. I can't get the question to the whiteboard for some reason, but I will start setting the timer. As 9 minutes, you can start. Board gonna try karana, but you have the question no? Can't get it. Start doing the question, na? Second question. Recently, is it difficult to stay in the class? Where are you from recently? Where do you live? Okay. I think recently has a connection issue with the network. Sorry, connection issue with the rain. So, yes, finish. Done with this. Okay. So, the figure shows a flower bed consisting of a semicircular part of radius 14 meters. That means, method. Here the radius is 14 meters. Joining a rectangular part A, B, C, D. Okay. Hari, pebbles have been scattered in the two shaded rectangular parts outside the flower bed. All good. Find the length BC of the rectangular part of the flower bed. They want us to find BC. Now, we know the total length 14. We know this length 7 and this length 7. So, 14 wali 7 and 7 subtract, we can get the length of AD, right? So, we'll get that. Yes, 14 is the diameter of the semicircle. That means here, like, me choti part rectangle the AD is the side that belongs to the rectangle, right? So, AD, I can find 14 meters minus this 7 meters and this 7 meters. Oh, right. Apologies. That's what you mentioned, no? Radius. I marked radius. Sorry, I marked diameter. But they say it's radius. Yes, correct. So it should be this part, right? That is 14 meters. Okay. So if the radius is 14 meters, what is the diameter? What is the diameter? 28. This total length is 28. From 28, I subtract 7 here and I subtract 7 here. And I will get the length of AD, right? So, 28 meters, subtract 7, subtract 7. So, 28 subtract 7, 21. 21 subtract 7, 14. So, you get AD is 14 meters, right? So, AD is 14 meters. And since it's a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Therefore, BC is also 14 meters. May structure this paper 1 part B questions. We don't have to put reasons or anything, right? BC is also 14 meters. Okay. Then find the area of the semicircular part of the flower bed. Okay. So area of a semicircular part. So we know area. What is the formula for finding area? What is the formula for finding area? Pi r squared. It's difficult to type, no? Second. Okay. So pi r squared, but this is a semicircle. Semicircle means half of that. So area would be half of pi r squared. So that means half. Pi we know is 22 over 7. Radius they have given 14 meters. So 14 multiplied by 14. So 7 times 2, 2 cancel guna. We get 22 times 14. So 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 1, 2. We get 8 to 308. Since all the unit sign meters, area should be square meters. Did you get this? Okay. If the area of the semicircular part is equal to the sum of the areas of the two parts in which pebbles have been scattered. මේ area එක equal නම් මේ දෙකට. Right? Find the length AB of the rectangular part. AB part එක අපෙන් අහනවා. Okay. So if you take here මේ එක rectangle එකක් ගත්තොත් එයාගේ area එක වෙන්නේ දැන් මෙයාව ගමු AB multiplied by 7. Right? AB multiplied by 7. බලන්න මේ rectangle එක ගත්තත් since DC is equal to AB එයත් එන්නේ AB multiplied by 7 නේද? Because DC multiplied by 7 තමයි but DC is equal to AB no. So that is AB multiplied by 7. එහෙනම් AB multiplied by 7 plus AB multiplied by 7. That means AB multiplied by 7 එයා දෙකක්. 2 times AB multiplied by 7. ඒ දෙකේම area එක එකතු කරාම තමයි මේ semicircular part එකේ area එකට equal වෙන්නේ which is 308. Which is 308 square meters. So now what we have to do is we have to divide and find the value. මේ 2 මේ පැත්තට ගෙනියනවා. So 308 divided by 2. ඒක ඕන මෙතනම simplify කරන්න පුළුවන්. 554. And then AB multiplied by 7. එහෙනම් 7 අනිත් පැත්ත ගෙනියච්චාම එයා division වෙනවා. Seven times 2 is 14. 1 remaining. 7 times 2. That is 22 meters. Did you get this answer? Okay. Find the perimeter of the whole flower bed and then the length of the rectangle. Perimeter of the whole flower bed. Okay. And the length of the rectangle that has the same perimeter as the flower bed and breadth equal to the diameter. Right. මුලින්ම අපිට first step එක කරමුකෝ. Let's find the perimeter of the flower bed. Perimeter. Okay. So now AB කියලා කියන්නේ 22 meters, right? මම මේ mark කර ලියන්නම්. AB is 22 meters plus BC, we found it as 14 meters plus again DC is equal to AB and AB is 22 meters. And then මේ මුළු එකම 28 meters නේ. 28 meters මුළු එකම මේ චූටි part එක 14 meters. 28 meters වලින් 14 meters subtract කරාම we get 14 meters. That means this small part and this small part when you add it will be 14 meters. Because the whole diameter is 28 meters. This part is 14 meters. 28 वलिन 14 subtract करාම you get this and this. So 28 minus 14 is 40. Okay. And we need to find this arc length. Right? Arc length එක හොයන්න ඕනේ. Arc length එක හොයන්න කොහොමද? Now this is a semicircle, right? So half into arc length හොයන්නේ 2 pi r, right? So half into 2. Pi means 22 over 7. R means radius. Radius we know is 14. Now we have to do the simplification. 2 cancel una, 7 times 1, 7 times 2. So here 22 plus 22 plus 22 is 44. 44 meters. 14 plus 14 is 28 meters. Plus 22 times 2 is 44 meters. So 44, 44, 88, 88 plus 20 is 108. 108 plus 80 is 116. So we get 116 meters as the perimeter. Now let's go to the next part of the question. Find the length of a rectangle that has the same perimeter as the flower bed. So we have a rectangle, same perimeter as the flower bed. Now, the perimeter is 116 meters. Breadth is equal to the diameter of the semicircle. Semicircle ke diameter is 28, right? එහෙනම් මේ rectangle එකේ breadth එක 28. එහෙනම් අපි length එක තමයි හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. So rectangle එකක perimeter කොහොමද හොයන්නේ? Length plus breadth, right? So length plus length is 12. Breadth is 28 plus 28. That should be equal to 116. So 2L equals 116 minus 28 plus 28 is 56 now. So 2L equals 6 minus 6 is 0. 11 minus 5 is 60. And our length is 30 meters. Okay. Is this clear? It's an anime question again. Yeah. Is this clear? Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see how marks are given. Okay. So for Roman number 1, just for getting the answer. It's very simple, no? So for getting the answer, you are given 1 mark, right? Then Roman number 2, okay. Make calculation eකට 1 mark for getting 308 square meters. Unit එක නැත්නම් ලකුණු නෑ 1 mark, so 2 marks there. Here for the calculation, මේ මුළු calculation එකට 1 mark. කොහොම calculation එක කළාද බෑ ඒකට 1 mark. 22 meters කියලා final answer එක ගත්තට 1 mark, so 2 marks there. මෙතන මේ arc length එකේ formula එක හරියට ලියලා එක හෙව්වනම් 1 mark. ඒක මේ equation එකේම දාලා හෙව්වත් කමක් නැහැ. කලින් වෙනම arc length එක හොයලා ආවත් කමක් නැහැ. arc length formula එක කොහරි තියනවා නම් ඒක හරියට හොයලා තියෙන working එකට 1 mark. Then ඔක්කොම ටික add කරනවාට 1 mark. For getting 116 meters, 1 mark. There are 3 marks then. Then for here, for the working 1 mark, for the method 1 mark, for getting 30 meters, 1 mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. How many marks did you get out of 10? Good. Very good. Okay. Third question. අපි කරන්නේ නේද මේ? Did we do shares? Did we do share market? No. Okay. Share market we didn't do. Okay. Then probability, tree diagrams and all that. Then shall we do the fourth question? The fourth question is, it looks slightly longer, but but I mean, දිග වුණා කියලා මොකද අමුතුවෙන් දේවල් නැහැ අර වගේම question එකක් තියෙන්නේ දිග වෙලා තියෙන because of all the like tables and diagrams grid එකයි ඔක්කොම එක. Let me get the question to the whiteboard. This is the fourth question. Okay, your time starts now. Make it fast. Okay, done. All right. In a children's party, a game of drawing a ball randomly from a bag of balls and without replacing it, drawing another ball randomly was played. In the bag were two red balls, R1 and R2, a blue ball B, a yellow ball Y, and a green ball G that were identical. Mark the sample space relevant to the above game in the given grid using the symbol X. Okay. Balana, we are picking a ball first time and then without putting it back, we are picking another ball. Okay. If I picked R1, make a balanda. If I picked R1 in the first round, can I pick R2, R1 in the second round? No. Why? Because R1, I didn't put it back, right? I did replace it without replacing. So I didn't put it back and I took, and I went, එතකොට දෙපාරම R1 ගන්න විදියක් නැහැ. Okay, so එහෙනම් යාව හරියන්නේ නැහැ. First time R2 around, second time R1 ගන්න පුළුවන් because they're different balls, no? So B around R1, okay. Y R1, okay. G R1, okay. First time R1 around, second time R2 ගන්න පුළුවන්. But first time R2 around, second time R2 ගන්න බෑ. So that is also not possible. First time B around, second time R2 ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේකත් පුළුවන්. Can this is possible. This is possible. Possible. This is impossible. First time B around, second time would be ගන්න බෑ. So මැද diameter එකේ තියෙන crosses ටික අරන් අනිත් ඔක්කොම crosses ටික ඇඳලා තියෙනවා. See, first time Y around, second time with Y gonna bad because we didn't replace the ball. Here also I'm not putting a cross because first time G around, second time G gonna bad. So mark the sample space relevant to the above game in the given grid. I already did that. To win the game, it was required to first draw either a blue ball or a yellow ball and then draw a red ball. First draw එකේ blue ball එකක් හරි yellow ball එකක් හරි අරන් second draw එකේ red ball එකක් ගත්තොත් we are going to win this. Okay. So we have to encircle this. First draw එක විතරක් බලමු. I will just use like a highlighter for this for now. First draw එකේ blue ball එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. First draw එකේ blue ball එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් කියන්නේ මේ set එකම ගන්න පුළුවන්. First draw blue ball. Okay. Or yellow ball. Yellow ball එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. First draw yellow ball. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ set එකම අපිට consider කරන්න පුළුවන්. Then draw red ball. Second draw එකේ red ball එකක් විතරයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. Second draw එකේ red ball එකක් ගන්නව ගත්තොත් අපිට consider කරන්න second draw red. එහෙනම් මේ දෙගොල්ලන්ව තමයි අපිට consider කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් ඒ දෙගොල්ලන්ටම common ඉන්නේ මෙන්න මේ කට්ටිය. Then this is what we are talking about, right? So I will erase this, whatever I highlighted. So this is what we are talking about. First draw a blue or yellow, second draw a red. So these four. So we have to write the probability. Method 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 crosses. Total there are 20 crosses, right? So 4 over 20 is the probability. If you want to, you can simplify this as 1 over 5 or you can just leave it as 4 over 20. Is that clear? Meta, is it clear? Is it? I remember it as being, yes. That is last term, last lesson, no? In the third book, part 3. Yes, correct. Okay, so we will do that lesson, but did you understand this? You may not have gotten the answer, And maybe your answers are wrong. That is all right. But did you understand? Okay. As long as you understood, it's okay. When we're doing the lesson, you will like understand it further and you will like properly get the theory. But this question, I don't think it's very difficult to understand, and it's okay, right? If you have any questions, you can ask because we already started the question. We'll continue to discuss. Okay. But in grade 10, අපිට මේ වගේ replace කරන්න නැතිව තිබුණ නෑනේ. In grade 10, it was like a full sample, full grid. We had the probability in grade 10 also, right? Yeah. Tree diagrams also in grade 10 we had, but in grade 11 it's a little advanced. But again, we have already started the question, so we'll try to finish the question. Okay. A factory. Up in your make a read color balance make then you can get an idea. Okay. A factory uses two machines named A and B to produce a certain type of toy. 2/5 of the total number of toys is produced by machine A, while the rest is produced by machine B. If 2/5 of the total number of toys is produced by machine A, what is the fraction of toys produced by machine B? What is the probability? What is the number of or the probability of the number of toys produced by machine B? 3/5. Oh, මේගොල්ලන් 2/5 na rest. Rest is 3. Rest means ඉතුරු ටික, right? That is 3/5. Yes. Okay, so that part is okay. ඔයාට මතකද මෙත්නා in grade 10 අපි හැමලෙම tree diagram එකක ඒ arms ඒ කියන්නේ sections event 1 event 2 කියලා අපි label කරානේ. So here make event 1 event 2 නෙමෙයි. So first part, this is machine. On a machine. Now we have to complete this, right? So ඊළඟ එකේ අපිට මොකක්ද තියෙන්නේ? Probability of a toy produced by machine A being defective. ඒ කියන්නේ කැඩිච් එකක් produce කරන්න probability එකක් තියෙනවා. Machine A එකෙන් defective toy එකක් හදන probability එක. අපි පස්සේ යනවා. දෙයිද නැති වෙනවා. So it producing a defective toy. What is that probability they have given? It has 1/16. එහෙනම් machine A එකෙන් not defective toy එකක් හදන probability එක කීයද? Not defective means perfectly okay. Yes. 15/16. Then machine B. While the probability of a toy produced by machine B being defective is 1/36. So machine B producing a defective toy is 1/36. So what is the probability of machine B producing a not defective toy? Yeah. 35/36. Then as I said, up events label කරන්න ඕනේ. First event එක තමයි machine. So I label that. Second එක defective or not defective. ඒක අපි එහෙම ලියමු නිකන් defective or not defective. However way suitable ලියලා තිබ්බනම් ඇති. Okay. Then find the probability of a toy produced by this factory being without defect. Correct. Without defect means not defective. Non defective machine A එකෙන් not defective ඒවා හදන්න තියෙන probability එකක් මුලින් බලමු. Machine A means 2/5. ඒකෙන් not defective ඒවා හදන්න තියෙන probability එක මෙතන 15/16. Plus machine B එක not defective ඒවා හදන probability එක. So machine B is 3/5. Not defective means 35/36. So we have to add this, right? So 5 times 1, 5, 5 times 3, 15, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 8, 16. So here we have 3/8. So 5 times 1, 5, 5 times 7, 35. 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 12, 36. So we have 3/8 here. Plus here we have 7/12. So the common denominator would be 24. So 8 times 3, so 3 also 3 times 3. 12 times 2, 7 also times 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 4, 8 times 3 is 24. 7 times 2 is 14. 24. And we get 23/24. Is this clear, Metna? Okay. I'll give you a few minutes for recorrection since this was a little bit of an unfamiliar lesson. Like 2 minutes, make it fast. Maintenant done? Okay. So it's not that difficult, right? If you have any question about this regarding this particular question, let me. Oh, I did not tell you how marks are allocated, right? මේකේ හරියට sample space එක ගැන crosses ටික mark කරනවට you get 1 mark for properly like correctly marking the crosses. මේ මැද එක mark කරන්න මැද එක mark කරන්න නැතුව එහෙම mark කරනවට 1 mark. Then මේ හරි event එක round කරනවට 1 mark. And for writing the probability as 4/20 or 1/5, for that you get 2 marks, right? And then for the tree diagram, how marks are given is for the writing this probability 1 mark. And then may set එක defective not defective 1/16 15/16 කියලා ඒ set එක ලියනවට 1 mark. Then may set එක defective not defective 1/36 and 35/36 ලියනවට 1 mark. So 3 marks there. Then here for this part 1 mark. For this part, for writing that 1 mark, and for getting the final answer 1 mark. So how many marks do you have out of 10? Okay, it's okay. So fourth question we did. Fifth one we are going to skip. Let's go to paper 2. Paper 2 part A. Now let's quickly go 1 second. Api parallel since it's 9 o'clock, we can jump back to the lesson, no? Shall we jump back to the lesson? Because api the lesson ke part karo, so we can come back and do 5th question. Because the next lesson we have is data representation. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the lesson. Let me open the textbook. For the topic data representation and interpretation. Now, Peter, other day because we were also doing the question during the class. So next time, you have to do the question as homework. Data representation and interpretation. So make අපි කරන්නේ example එක විදියට. For the example, I'm going to use the same example as on the textbook, right? So straight away put example given below are textbook එකේ තියෙන්නේ heights of 30 students. Let's write it simply. Heights of 30 students. May I will 30 students lage height එක. Okay. So you will see how we are going to use this data in different ways, right? අපි මේක එක එක විදියට use කරන්න තමයි යන්නේ to and also understand this set of data. So when you get a data set like this, one of the physical quantities that we use is something called range, right? Range කියන්නේ අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් use කරන physical quantity එක, right? Range. Range කියලා කියන්නේ in that particular data set, you are going to get the highest value and then you are going to get the lowest value and you are going to subtract the lowest value from the highest value, right? So here in this particular case, if you get the range කියන්නේ highest value එක ගන්නවා, ඒකෙන් lowest value එක subtract කරනවා. In this data set, can you identify the highest value? What is the highest value here? Yeah, what is the lowest value? 130. So we get the range as 28. 28 is the range. So range is one of the physical quantities that we generally use in a data set. Okay. Then මෙහෙම නිකම්ම heights ගොඩාක් දුන්නට අපිට එකපාරට idea එකක් යන්නේ නැහැ. 137 කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා, 135 කට්ටියක් ඉන්නවා, 141, 147. So සමහර අයට එකම heights තියෙන දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවා, right? And then so like that, it's a little random. So we have a way to organize this data. We call this grouping. අපි මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? අපි මේ data ටික organize කරනවා. අපි එකට කියනවා group කරනවා කියලා. අපි group කරද්දී අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ දැන් හිතන්න for an example, let's say there's like a school event. අවුරුදු පොළ එක එක events තියෙනවානේ. So event එකක් තියෙනවා. So ළමයි එක එක පාට ඇඳුම් ඇඳන් එනවා. නැත්නම් මෙහෙම ගමුකෝ හරි එහෙම නෙමෙයි. අපි તો sports meet එක කියලා. Sports meet එකේ back in the days our school had 4 houses and colors were red, blue, yellow and green. So හිතන්න මේ sports meet එකට ළමයි හැමෝම තමන්ගේ house color එක අනිවාර්යෙන් ඇඳන් එන්න ඕනේ. That is compulsory. Okay. Now sports meet එක පටන් ගන්න කලින් there are so many students that are Meta, can you give me 1 second, please? 1 second. No? Sorry. Okay. So range is highest value minus lowest value. So this is what we get. So as I said earlier, when the data is random, it's very difficult to get an idea, right? දැන් මෙතන උනා දැන් හිතන්නකෝ when I asked you to find the highest value ඔයා එකින් එක ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න පොඩි වෙලාවක් ගියානේ ඒකට lowest value එකත් එහෙමයි. හැබැයි අපි මේ ටික ලස්සනට organize කරගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම organize කරන එකට කියන අපි group කරනවා කියලා. Okay, we call it grouping. So when you're grouping, so we were talking about the sports meet. So at the beginning, so it was compulsory for everybody to wear their house color. At the beginning of the sports meet, now we have to categorize everybody into their houses. අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? Blue කට්ටිය මෙතනට, yellow කට්ටිය මෙතනට, red කට්ටිය මෙතනට, green කට්ටිය මෙතනට කියලා color එකෙන් ඒගොල්ලන්ව categories හතරකට කරනවා because there are 4 houses. ඒ වගේ මෙතනත් අපි කරන්නේ we are going to form a few categories. ඊළඟට හැමෝම මේ categories වලට දානවා. එතකොට අපිට ඒක ලේසි. ඒ categories වලට අපි කියනවා class intervals කියලා. We call them class intervals. මුකුත් ලියන්න එපා because I'm going to write some points in the middle later. So එතකොට now in a data set like this, when we are grouping, අපි කොහොමද දැනගන්නේ කොච්චර categories මම දාන්න ඕනද කියලා. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් in any data set අපි දානවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් class intervals maximum අපි 10 තමයි යන්නේ, minimum we can put like 5 class intervals. Class intervals තමයි මේ categories. The houses na houses හතරයි තියෙන්නේ, right? ඒ වගේ houses na houses හතරයි, just like that. මෙතනත් we can form a few categories, right? But we can't put just any categories දෙකක් විතර. ඊතන මේක categories දෙකකට දැම්මොත් අපිට ඒත් ID එකක් ගන්න බෑ ලොකුවට, right? Categories අපි තුමු 15කට විතර දැම්මා කියලා again අපිට it's too much, right? So සාමාන්‍යයෙන් minimum number of categories we keep is 5 and the maximum number of categories we keep is 10. So මේ වගේ මේ ගොඩාක් ලොකු data set එකකුත් නෙවෙයි, ගොඩාක් පොඩි එකකුත් නෙවෙයි. So let's keep around 6 class intervals, right? 6 categories we say. එතකොට අපි කොහොමද categories වලට break කරන්නේ? So when we are okay, මම මෙහෙම ලියන්න point එකක්. We are going to group this data. මේක ලියන්න එපා. මේ ලියන්න එපා. මොකද මම කිව්වා වගේ I'm going to change this, right? Into 6 class intervals. Okay. එතකොට we are going to check the size of a class interval. තාම සමහර ලොකුට තේරෙන්නේ නැති වෙයි. Just be patient and watch. Then බලන්න, what is the range in this data set? 28. 28 කියන්නේ range එක. අඩුම එකයි ඉඳන් වැඩිම එකට කොච්චර range එකක් තියෙනවා. So you take the range and you divide it by the number of class intervals. We have 6 class intervals here. So when you divide this 6 times 4, 24, 4 remaining, 40 කියන්නේ 6 times 6, 36, 40. So 4.666 වගේ තමයි යන්නේ. So approximately we can say this is about 5. Size of a class interval අපිට approximately කියන්න පුළුවන් 5 කියලා. Okay. එතකොට මම මෙන්න මෙහෙම table එකක් හදාගන්න. Right. I think here there's a feature to add a table. මම මෙහෙම පොඩි table එකක් ඇඳ ගන්නවා, right? Here, the first column is going to be the class interval. So class interval. And then in the second column, we are going to put frequency. Just be patient and watch. Okay. One of them balanna. Make a lowest value 130. Right. 130. One class, there are 6 class intervals, right? There are 6 class intervals. Again, the method boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 class intervals are boxes. A class interval like a size of 5. The lowest value is 130. Lowest value is 130. Mang ito na pahak count kar. Ito na pahak count kar, I get 135. Okay. Then here 135 in I'm gonna count 5. That means 140. Then 140 now I'm gonna count 5. Then I get 145. Then 145, 150. 150. 155. 155. 160. Up to that point, did you get a rough idea, Metna? We can use, there's a different method how we do that. Right? How to do that, I will let you know in a bit. Okay, so in this particular method, what we did was 130 to 135, 135 to 140, 140 to 145, 145 to 150, and likewise. Here I'm break it. So I'm gonna actually there's going to be 2 tables, huh? So what you're asking will be explained in the other table. Okay. Then මෙතන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් එනවා. මොකද්ද පොඩි? මොකද්ද මෙතන එන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නේ? How do I move the table? Let's say දැන් හිතන්න මේ ළමයෙක් ඉන්නවා. Look at me, this child. මෙයාගේ height එක 135. So then පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් එනවා 135 මම මෙතනටද දාන්න මෙතනටද දාන්න. I think that is a little relevant to the question you asked because 135 is here, 135 is here. So, what was the size of a class interval? What was the size of a class interval that we got? 5. එතකොට එතන අපි understand කරන්න ඕනේ දැන් හිතන්න මේක start කරන්නේ 130. 130 is the lowest value. එක ළමයිගේ height එකක් තියෙනවා 130 කියලා නේ. 130, 131, 132, 133, 134. ඒ කියන්නේ 130 to 134 because 5 නේ. Size of the class interval is 5. So 130, 31, 32, 33 and 134. වෙනකම් විතරයි මේ class interval එකට දාන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් මම මේ class interval එක කොහොමද define කරන්නේ? මේ class interval එක මම define කරනවා greater than or equal to 130 and less than 135. එතකොට එහෙම කිව්වම හරි නේද? Greater than or equal to 130 and less than 135 කිව්වම කොහොමත් 134 නෙන්නේ නේ? Did you understand that, Metna? Yes. So just like that, other දැන් හිතන්න අපි මෙයා වගේ ගමු. මෙන්න මෙතන කියනවා වගේ. Greater than or equal to 100 and no, let's take something like මෙයා වගේ ගමු. Greater than or equal to 145 and less than 150. එතකොට 145, 146, 147, 148, 149. So එතකොට අපිට understanding එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ when we say the size of a class interval is 5 එතකොට මේ විදිහට තමයි එන්නේ කියලා. Now we can start marking. So මුලින්ම 130 to 135 බලමු. ඒ කියන්නේ 130 to 135 means 130, 131, 32, 33 and 134. So මෙතන 134 ඉන්නවා. Okay. 133, 130. That's it. So we have 3. Okay, we have 3. Let me mark it here. 3. 135 to 140. 135 to 140 means 135, 36, 37, 38, 39, right? So 37, 35, 35, 37, 38, 36, 37, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7. Likewise, you can count and you can mark for each. Now, textbook I will take those values. 10 or count karama 5, 3 and 2. This is how I got this grouped frequency distribution. Did you understand this? Now, show you another one. Keep it right? We know the size of a class interval is class interval is 5. So 130 in the අරවගේ පැටලෙන්නේ නැති වෙන අපිට කෙලිම මෙහෙම ගන්න පුළුවන් 130 131 132 33 34 134 වෙනකන් මෙතන ඊළඟට 135 ඉඳන් පටන් අරන් 139 වෙනකන් මෙතන 140 to 144 145 to 149 150 to 154 155 to 159. And the numbers are still the same, no? 3, 7, 10, 5, 3, 2. 7, 10, 5, 3. So these are two ways how we can do this group frequency distribution, right? I will call this group frequency distribution 1, and I shall call this group frequency distribution 2. Okay, so we have 1 and 2. If you look at the differences between 1 and 2, okay. මුලින්ම දැන් අපි එක එක terms කීපයක් ඉගෙන ගත්තානේ මෙතන. See, we learned one term called the range. We learned a term called range. We learned a term called class interval, and we also learned a term called size of a class interval. Okay. Then we are going to learn two terms actually called lower limit and higher limit. Right. ඕනිම class interval එකක lower limit කියලා කියන්නේ class interval එකේ පොඩිම value එක. Right. So lower limit means the lowest value of the class interval. And upper limit is the highest value of the class interval. Then අපි ඒ ලියන class interval එකේ highest value එකයි lowest value එකයි. Let's look at the first one. First frequency distribution එකේ look at the first class interval. Okay. So if you look at the first class interval, what is the lower limit? What is the lower limit? 130, right? So if you take the class interval 130 to 135, lower limit is 130 and upper limit is a class interval ke mention kara thine value ka 135. Then if you take the second class, that is 135, right? 135 to 140. මෙයාගේ lower limit එක 135. මෙයාගේ upper limit එක 140. බලන්න, if we look at these two class intervals, can you see that upper limit of the previous class interval is the lower limit of the next class interval? Can you see that? බලන්න මෙයාගේ upper limit එක 135, මෙයාගේ lower limit එක 135. So upper limit of the previous class interval is the lower limit of the next class interval. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ වගේ frequency distribution එකක් ගත්තොත් we have a common limit, right? So we'll write, therefore, sorry, don't write, there is a common limit. Is that clear? Okay. But if we look at this situation, මෙතනත් limit කියන්නේ එකම එකනේ. අපි මෙතන ගත්තොත් අපේ මුලින්ම තියෙන class එක 130 to 134. එයාගේ lower limit එක 130, upper limit එක 134. If you take the second class 135 to 139, එයාගේ lower limit එක 135, upper limit is 139. Now, are there any common limits here? Are there any common limits here? No. So there are no common limits. That means between two class intervals, there is a gap. බලන්න මෙතන මෙයා ඉවර වෙන්නේ 134 ගේ, මෙයා පටන් ගන්නේ 135. එතන කොච්චර gap එකක් තියෙනවද? Gap is 1. Right? අප්ම ඕන එක පෙන්නන්න මෙහෙම ලියලා 134. Sorry. Lower limit of one class interval minus upper limit of the එහෙම ඕනේ අපි නිකන් ලියමුද 135 නැත්නම් දිග වෙනවා. So we have a gap of 1. Is that clear? Moving from one class interval to another, there's a gap. Which class interval do you, sorry, now we learned about two grouped frequency distributions, right? We learned about two group frequency distribution, group frequency distribution 1 and group frequency distribution 2. Which one do you think is the most practical? Which one do you like the most? Yeah, first one is the most practical. Can you tell me why? In your own terms, simple විදියට මොකක්ද? What is the reason for that? What's the reason for that? හිතන්න එක ළමෙක්, yeah, common limit with no gaps. Okay. අපි practical නිකන් හිතලා බලමු. හිතන්න එක ළමයෙක් ඉන්නවා, එයාගේ උස 140, no, let's say 100 and 139.5, right? Make a just an example. 139.5 centimeters. Tama me lamage height. Let's look at group frequency distribution 2. Sorry, group frequency distribution 1. To which class interval do I put this? 139.5. First decade, the second decade, the third decade, the fourth decade, the fifth decade, the sixth decade. 139.5. Second, because the may second decade mean greater than or equal to 135 and less than 140. So 139.5 is less than 140. So you can put it easily to the second class interval. In group frequency distribution 2, 139.5, where am I going to put it? Is there a place to put it? No. And always the preferred method is group frequency distribution 1. හැබැයි ඔයාට group frequency distribution 2 එකේ විදියට මොන හරි ආවොත් ඒක ඔයාට 1 එකේ විදියට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් 1 එකේ gaps නැහැනේ. 2 එකේ gaps තියෙනවා. Right? එතකොට ඔයාට gaps නැති එකක් ආවොත් no problem. Good. That's the best. But let's say in a question you get one with gaps. Then there is a way to convert it to a frequency distribution without gaps, right? I think we'll discuss it later because we have to copy this down as well. Can you quickly copy this note? Make it fast. If you have any questions, you can ask. Quickly. Let me know when you're done. I'll scroll down a bit. Done copying the whole thing, Mehta?